Hey Internet, Dracofunk here, and we're playing some Kerbal Space Program. This is my mostly reusable space program. We've had a few unfortunate accidents. That's okay. Right now I'm just going over, kind of taking inventory of where we are on our fuel situation here at Enterprise Station, and it's not good. We have very little fuel. Right now I'm just looking at the Liberator. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to try and transfer fuel in or out, and eventually I just end up giving up. Really, what I had wanted to do was have Jebediah take those two, the ore tank and the RCS tank, up to the moon, but there's just no fuel for it. So most of this episode is going to be spent mining. We're going to land on the moon, mine, convert some ore, and fly back up and deposit it. We're going to have to do this a couple times. And you know, instead of just hearing me say we're launching and going back, I figured might as well do a montage. Here is the moon miner. It's getting some more mining. You see the ore is filling up. We've just about filled up with everything else. We just need a little bit more liquid fuel and oxidizer. And I want to come up with a full tank of ore as well, so we can reconvert that either on the way or at the station. And now that we're just about full of everything, it's time to launch and make our first fuel run up to the station. First of many. I'm just filling this fuel tank up, so let's do a montage. Alrighty, guys. So that montage, I've completed six fuel runs, and sometimes I've been a little bit more efficient. This time I came down with 900 or so Delta V. I've actually, the least amount I think is about 640. But I got tired, and having a bit more Delta V made it a lot faster, and that's what I ended up going for. This time, though, I'm just trying to slowly get down, and I almost don't tip over, don't tip over. I'm gonna tip over. And I thought that was it. But luckily, nothing broke. I don't know how nothing has broke, especially that thermal heat sink. Now if I can just get it turned over, and if I'm careful, I can bring the legs back up, and maybe, come on, a little bit over. There we go. Sliding a little bit, but that's okay. Nothing broke. Yeah, nothing broke. So, sliding a little bit. 0.4 meters per second. Maybe speed up, slow it down. I don't know. Just start mining. It's fine. I'll stop when I get there. Yeah. See, I survived. This is my 7th run to the station. There we go. I left the drills down. That's okay. Just retract those. I put the heat sinks and the solar panels in an action group. I don't know why I didn't put the drills in an action group. That was quite unfortunate. And here I coming in, docking with the station, and I just gave up docking. I had wanted to always dock at the end, but I've done this so many times now. It's just whatever docking port I'm facing is the one I'm going to dock with. Because it doesn't, in the end, it doesn't matter. Any docking port's fine. And then I will transfer my bounty of fuel to all the ships here. This is taking a lot longer, and I don't just mean the docking, I mean the whole process of refueling. There's 3 ships here. I think at this point, by the 7th one, the space bus is fully fueled. Still working on the ship there at the end, the utility ship, and the Ares craft, and that fuel tank. Just want to make sure all the fuel I can is transferred out. And there we go. Might as well fill up all the RCS from on the station. I think at this point we got everything just about done. And this has been my life for a long time. I may know it may have only been a couple minutes for you, but this has been hours for me. Hours. I'm just trying to get everything as much as possible. And I'm not even, I'm done. And this is me landing back on the moon, and watch my Delta V. I I wasn't watching it too close. I got, 43, 40. It's fine. I'm only 300 meters above the surface. You know, don't want to break anything. That would suck. Here I am, 100 meters, 5 Delta V, 4 Delta V, 3 Delta V, 0, and nothing broke. I'm down. I landed with 0 Delta V. I'll never be able to do that again. And this is my 8th run up to the station. And the fuel tanker, well, we'll see that. At this point, I'll show the launch to that next. Spoiler alert, I launch a fuel tanker. And here I am, I'm going to dock at the end of the space bus. Occasionally, I get a good docking run. Sometimes, not so much. I like to do the cinematic versions once I get a good straight in. And transfer fuel. Convert more. Make sure everything is filled up. I found filling the tanks up on the mining ship about half full, the top 3, leaving the bottom 4 completely empty. Gave me enough Delta V to land, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just trying to get it as close as I could. Almost. So 90 and 110 are what I'm going for. Transfer everything out of into those top tanks. Yep, 90. I should have done these all at the same time. That's okay, because I can get them close. 110. Perfect. And just trying to get as much of the ships on the moon base filled as possible. Man, even after that montage, I am still mining. Now remember how, like last time, I landed with 0 Delta V? I gotta be careful this time. I'm just using a little bit more RCS. I'm gonna get myself down at periapsis, set an alarm. It's fine. Watching that Delta V. Now, I told you I've landed with as little as 640, and I'm coming in almost 800 Delta V. I had been using RCS more because the one thing I seem to be full up mostly is RCS, but part of that is because I don't have the big RCS tanks to fill. Because I don't have the fuel back at Enterprise Station. Because I'm still trying to fill Columbia Station. And I'm just trying to make sure I don't land on a hill. I'm trying to land here on the plains. Time warp a little bit. Watch my Delta V. I got plenty. Watching my Delta V. Let's see where I'm at. 200 meters, 60 Delta V. I'm fine. Coming in a little bit fast. Oh, I went too far. It's okay. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 Delta V. Remember how I said I'll never do that again? Yeah, I came in with 0 Delta V again. And this, what is this, my 9th run up to the station? Guess what? I'm still not going to be, not everything's filled up. I need this miner, while it is working and fulfilling its purpose, it's not efficient enough. I think I'm going to have to build a new mining craft that carries more fuel. I'm just going to have to do that. Yeah, this is... Every time somebody makes a run, it's going to be 10 times, at least 10 times, refueling everything. And that's just not acceptable. 2, maybe 3 times, I got to build a bigger mining ship. Next episode, Dracofunk builds a new mining ship. Now, I know I've already shown it in orbit. There's a new ship that you can see that's in about a 200 kilometer orbit of the moon, and I'll show that being launched next after I get docked to the station. At this point, I'm going to try and dock where I'm supposed to here at the end. This is also where I imagine the tanker will dock. At this point, I have foregone the manual docking, and I'm using the docking autopilot. This is my 10th time docking. This is my first time using the autopilot. Forgive me, I'm tired. It's late. I need to transfer fuel. I think this was my last run, and I was kind of done with it. But that's okay. We're all docked up, and I need to go transfer fuel and get everything, as much fuel as we can, out of the ship. Just trying to fill all the tanks up, convert all the ore, just so I can go make another run. Another moon landing. Another mining operation. Because in the end, it's still not enough. So I will design a new mining craft and test it and get it launched. But while that goes on, here is the mining, well, not mining. Here is the tanker. Yes, the tanker. This is my space tanker. It has 2 removable large tanks, so it can bring ore, RCS, and liquid oxygen fuel. It has a lot of Delta V. It also has the ability, it has basically a landing can as the control unit, and then it has one of those passenger compartments on the bottom. And I had to be very careful to design this so it was, and the boosters, I might have lost some. But as you can see, most of them survived, and that's why we're mostly reusable. And all of those will survive because they have parachutes on them. I may have lost some fins for this booster. Now, getting this into orbit is a little bit tricky. And I'm not worried about saving any fuel in that orange tank. It's much better served to feed the main cell and get as much orbital velocity as I can, because I'm going to have to use those nuclear engines, and they're not going to help at that much, but it'll be enough. And here we are using the nuclear engines. We're still going down. I'll raise the solar panels just for a second because I realize I'm going to have a little stint back in the atmosphere. But I really like the cockpit view because this really looks like, a working ship. Bring the solar panels down because I'm going down into the atmosphere, and I'm gonna go further down than I would like, but it's just a little. This is their view from the cockpit. It's okay. And this ship, I believe, is mostly crewed, meaning I actually have passengers in the passenger compartment. Things are a little bit overheating, but that's okay. Yep, here's my passengers, and they're fine. They got some snacks, just a little bit of burning outside the window. It's nothing to be too concerned about. And as you can see, I'm heading up, and I will circularize my orbit at apsoapsis, and the next stop is the moon. I have plenty of Delta V to get me there, and I'm going to put this in about a 200 kilometer parking orbit, and as soon as the moon station has fuel, I will have it dock with Columbia Station, and it will make its first fuel run back to Enterprise Station. All I'm doing right now is establishing a stable orbit of the moon, and I'll get my orbit about where I want. Little bit too far, just using the RCS because it's got plenty of RCS right now. Let's see, 200, and time warp to periaps, and here we go. Flip it to, there we go, and just bring it down and get it in a mostly stable parking orbit about 200 kilometers. Not perfect, but good enough. Good enough for now. Well, next time I'll launch a new mining ship, and that's all for today. And I'll see you all later.